You're bleeding out, the objective is getting swarmed, your squad is counting on you, and there he is. A support player just standing there, completely oblivious to you and all of your down teammates in the battlefield. We've all been there. It's that feeling of helplessness that loses matches, but it doesn't have to be this way. I'm gonna show you how to turn that frustration into tactical dominance, making you the unbreakable anchor that your team desperately needs. Forget everything you think you know about being a walking ammo box. Today, we're breaking down the most powerful and misunderstood class in Battlefield 6. We'll look at the gadgets that turn the tide, the training paths that define your playstyle, and the advanced tactics that separate the good support players from the legendary ones. And by the end of this video, you won't just be playing support, you're gonna be the reason your team wins. Before we can touch a single gadget, we need to get the philosophy right. The support class in Battlefield 6 is the backbone of any squad that knows what they're doing. In the heat of the moment, it comes down to two things: sustainability and control. You are the force that keeps your team in the fight, mixing heavy firepower with lightning fast revives. A great support player thinks tactically, defends aggressively, and acts as the anchor that ensures their team can outlast and overpower their enemies by using your heavy firepower and your defensive gadgets to lock down objectives and deny any efforts to take it from you. Your core identity as a support player is defined by your class signature set. Mastering these is the first step to becoming an invaluable asset to your team. First is your signature gadget, the supply bag. Once dropped, this bag regenerates health for nearby teammates faster than anything else, and it also resupplies ammo for your weapons and gadgets. Most of the time, you throw it down in the middle of the open during an engagement, and it'll probably end up destroyed in an instant with your downed body lying right next to it. The smart thing to do is to place it before an engagement, behind the cover that you and your teammates are going to be using. One thing to be aware of is the time it takes to resupply your gadgets and grenades. While you get ammo for your weapon pretty fast, it takes significantly longer to resupply everything else in your loadout. So the bag really needs to be in a safe spot. You should also know that you can't resupply ammo for gadgets in RedSec, so you're still going to need to scavenge for new gear when you're out of ammo. Next is the signature weapon class, LMGs. While other classes get sluggish with LMGs equipped, the support class suffers no penalties to movement speed or ADS speed. This means you can keep up with your teammates as you push the objective, and snap onto targets with surprising speed, turning a heavy weapon into an aggressive machine. Finally, you have the signature trait, Field Sustainment. This trait allows your teammates to take health packs right off of you. The catch is that you have to be standing still in order for your teammates to do so. Just imagine, you're rotating between objectives and you don't have a supply bag ready, and there's teammates low on health. Just stop for a moment to let them grab a health pack, and now all of you are back in the fight, ready to take over the objective. It's a mobile top-off that keeps the pressure going, and one that is definitely needed in this game. In Battlefield 6, your playstyle is defined by training paths, which gives you more powerful passive bonuses that you'll earn over time in a match, making you more effective as the match progresses. Both paths give you the Restock Allies ability at level 3, which resupplies and heals nearby teammates for 10 seconds when activated, all while reducing the base revive time to 1.7 seconds. As for the rest of the abilities, they'll help you decide if you want to be a frontline savior or a defensive juggernaut. First up is going to be the default path for new players, the Combat Medic path. This path is all about rapid response and recovery. Right off the bat, you'll have access to the Urgent Aid ability, which allows you to drag down players 20% faster and revive them 2.5 seconds faster without the defibrillator. At level 1, you'll gain access to the Revive Recovery ability, which triggers passive health regeneration after reviving down teammates. One thing to note is that incoming damage will temporarily halt this effect for 1 second. Level 2 is the Defense Focused ability, which gives you a 25% faster resupply rate towards your gadgets. It also lets the GPDIS intercept 2 more projectiles, and it extends the MP APS tracking duration by 5 seconds. On top of all that, your deployable cover will also take 10% less damage. Once you complete the Support 1 and 2 challenges, which require you to heal 500 points of your team's health, earn 10,000 score, revive 60 teammates, and use the deployable cover 25 times, you'll unlock the Fire Support training path. This path shifts your focus from reviving to controlling the battlefield. At the start of the match, you'll be given the Logistics Expert ability, which helps you resupply ammo much faster when using the resupply bag. At level 1, you'll gain access to the Explosives Resistant ability, which reduces explosive damage by 25% when mounted or prone. At level 2, you'll be given the Steady Aim ability, which improves weapon control when shooting from mounted positions. While this path seems lackluster compared to the Combat Medic path, it works wonders when you're trying to hold down defensive points or break through enemy lines. Beyond your class abilities, your gadgets determine how you control the battlefield and keep your team alive. One of the most important gadgets you can use as a support player is definitely going to be the defibrillator. It revives your teammate faster than any other class, and even your own abilities. But you need to realize that reviving people in the open is a death sentence for you and your teammates. If you want to go for those risky revives at the front lines or in the open, you need to smoke off those down teammates first. Next up is the GPDIS. This interception system destroys small projectiles that may come your way, like grenades, stuns, flashes, and projectiles from grenade launchers, which is perfect if you and your team is holed up in one room trying to capture objectives. The MPAPS is like the big brother of the GPDIS. This intercept system is going to take care of larger projectiles like missiles, mortars, and tank rounds. It does take longer for it to detect and destroy projectiles, so it may not work in your favor in some rare situations. Then we have the LWCMS, which is a portable mortar launcher. This will allow you to launch smokes or high explosive grenades to either cover your team's advances or disperse enemy lines. The high explosive rounds are perfect for taking out tanks or snipers from a distance, and the smokes provide a huge advantage by providing cover for your teammates. When using the launcher, you'll be given a visual indicator that shows where the mortar will hit. Your minimap will also give you a small reticle that shows where you're aiming if the visual indicator can't be seen. The minimap will show you where your mortars hit, which helps you dial in your shots if you're trying to take out a vehicle or a group of enemies in the distance. In my opinion, the mortar is a bit unforgiving. Depending on the range you're shooting, it can take quite a while for the mortar to land. So you really need to lead each shot and plan where the enemy is going to be. It's definitely more effective against tanks since they don't move as fast, so you don't need to lead as far, but it pretty much turns into a guessing game when the tank icon disappears from the minimap. You also have access to the M320A1 on the support class, but you are restricted to smoke grenades. These grenades will explode on impact and cover you from enemy sightlines, and on top of that, the smoke will clear spotted markers from your teammates, and it blocks the ability to spot players in the smoke. This grenade launcher can also be equipped in the foregrip slot for quicker access, giving you the opportunity to make quick getaways in the heat of the moment. Just like the assault class, the support class has some weak gadgets of their own. The Sitch G1 is an incendiary airburst launcher that shoots grenades out to a distance of 25 meters. Once it reaches its max distance, it'll explode and produce an incendiary cloud that burns enemies, blocks visibility, clears existing spotted markers, and prevents enemies from spotting teammates in the radius of the cloud. This gadget can be more of a hindrance than anything else because you're blocking your own team's sightlines as well as the enemies when the cloud is active. But other than that, I think this is a pretty solid gadget. The incendiary damage seems stronger than the thermobaric launcher, but it's not as versatile because of its max range. The deployable cover, on the other hand, is one of the best gadgets in the support class's arsenal, but you need to know when and where to use it. The deployable cover is a reinforced ballistic shield that protects players from incoming projectiles or explosive damage. It will degrade as it takes damage, but engineers can actually repair these shields, which gives you the opportunity to continue holding your position. If needed, you could use this as an emergency cover to revive a few teammates, block doorways or angles to slow an enemy push, or you could use it to create a perfect mounting position anywhere on the map. Finally, we have the supply pouch. This is a single-use item that will replenish ammo and health for the owner or their teammates. Unlike the supply bag, you don't have to stop moving to activate the passive health regeneration, which makes it great for aggressive pushes. The trade-off is that it only resupplies about a third of your gadget's ammo, and it only gives you 2 magazines in total for your primary and secondary. You could obviously stack these pouches for more ammo, but it does take some time to throw these pouches out, and the last thing your team needs is for you to go down when they need you the most. As a support player, your weapon should complement your job as a frontline medic. While this game has plenty of options you can get your hands on, these 3 LMGs in particular are a step above the rest. First is the DRS IAR, which unlocks at level 9. This LMG is a versatile mid-range menace with a pretty high fire rate. It's built like an assault rifle, but its damage profile is more along the lines of every other LMG, so you're able to maneuver more quickly while you're in combat. Its major pro is its fire rate of 771 RPM, giving it a pretty fast time to kill, even in longer range gunfights. This LMG deals 25 damage up to 10 meters, giving you a 4-shot kill up close, and it deals 20 damage between the 20 to 80 meter range, so you can still deal insane damage when you're picking off enemies at range. Unfortunately, the magazine sizes aren't as big as other LMGs, ranging from 30 to 60 rounds, but with this LMG being as versatile as it is, carrying smaller magazines isn't such a bad thing. But if you wanted to completely dominate at mid-range, then the RPKM is going to be the way to go. This LMG is unlocked at level 30, so you will need to put a little bit of time in the game before you can get it, but it's completely worth it. This LMG is the definition of hard hitting. dealing up to 33 damage. The RPKM will deal 27 damage between 10 and 25 meters, and past that it'll deal 20 to 21 damage, giving you an incredibly consistent TTK. The RPKM does have a pretty slow fire rate, sitting at 553 RPM, but it does have insanely low recoil, allowing you to perfectly track your opponents. And unlike the DRS, the RPKM has a pretty good variety of magazines, ranging from 30 rounds to 75 rounds. The slower fire rate does force a more delicate playstyle, but its superiority in mid-range fights can't be matched. When you're mounted up in the right spots, you can single-handedly control those crucial positions. And finally, we have the KTS 100. This LMG is best at long-range engagements, and it comes with low bullet spread and a pretty steady fire rate. To unlock the KTS, you need to complete the Bullet Storm challenges, which may take some time, but it's definitely an LMG worth getting. This LMG is a sniper's nightmare. It's already laser accurate, but once you pair that with this LMG's low fire rate and recoil, you can easily challenge snipers and take them out before they even knew what hit them. Its major pro is its magazine potential, with options ranging from 45 rounds up to 100 rounds, which further increases your damage output when you're holding down angles. But its major con is its damage, which currently sits at 25. The KTS can be pretty unforgiving in close-range gunfights because of its slow fire rate and damage, but you'll see this LMG shine when you're attacking objectives or holding down sightlines at range. The general strategy with LMGs is to anchor fights, find natural cover, or use your deployable cover to make a head glitch. But don't just mount up in a doorway. It's one of the most obvious places you can be in, and you'll likely be met with grenade spam or endless gunfire. Find an off angle that gives you clear sights on an entrance, but doesn't put you front and center. Beyond your choice of primaries, you have your throwables, which are just as critical. First is the standard frag grenade, which is ideal for forcing enemies out of cover or to pick enemies off an objective. Next is the incendiary grenade, which creates a patch of intense fire that'll stick to any enemies unfortunate enough to find themselves in its radius. This incendiary probably deals the most damage out of all of them, but one thing you may not know is that you can reduce incendiary damage by going prone, which is useful when you just can't afford to die. However, for a support player, these grenades can't match the tactical importance of the smoke grenade. While frags get kills and incendiaries clear space, smoke grenades save lives and wins objectives. It is the single most reliable tool when it comes to keeping your own team alive. A well-placed smoke grenade will give you the cover needed to revive teammates out in the open, cross dangerous sightlines, or provide a safe route to advance on enemy objectives. It's important to know that players can see through your smoke at the right angles. While most of the smoke creates a pretty solid shield against enemy players' sights, the edge is still a bit transparent. So if you're at the edge of your smoke and an enemy is looking from a higher angle, there's a pretty good chance they'll still be able to see you or anybody else behind the smoke. By the way, if you're finding these tips useful and you want to be an even bigger asset for your team, do me a favor and drop a like on this video and subscribe to keep up with more Battlefield 6 guides. Now you know your tools, but it's time to talk about tactics. It doesn't even matter what class you're using. If you don't know how to position yourself, then you're going to be more of a liability than anything else. But when you're a medic, it's important that you stay close to your team. I don't mean that you need to be breathing down their necks 24/7. I'm just saying that you should try to keep yourself in the vicinity of your teammates, especially when you're all trying to take over an objective. It's annoying enough when you're downed and watching a medic get overwhelmed by the enemy team on the other side of the objective, but what's worse is being the medic on the other side of that objective. Now, I like to play a lot of Conquest, so I'll just throw out the supply bag wherever it's necessary, but if you're on Breakthrough, it's important to keep your bag in high traffic areas where your team is running back and forth. That way, any teammates running for cover will get an instant resupply to their ammo and health, giving them the opportunity to get back into the fight even sooner. When a firefight kicks off, you should almost never be the first person to rush through the door. Your sweet spot is behind the front lines, close enough to act instantly when a teammate goes down, but far enough back that you won't be the enemy's main target. When using an LMG, use it to suppress enemies as your team pushes forward. And once somebody goes down, toss a smoke, close in, and get that revive. And the best tip for support players is to use your damn smoke grenades. If your team is trying to push an objective but there's too many enemies around, throw your smokes to create a path for your team to get in. If there's enemies shooting from windows or ledges above your team, either smoke off your team or try to toss those smokes directly at those enemies. In situations where your team is pinned, your first priority is to get them out alive. And if you can't shoot their way out, your best bet is to blind the enemy in whatever way possible. And most importantly, smoke your teammates before you revive them. If you want to revive anybody in the open or in between an active gunfight, you need to smoke them off, or else you and your teammate will end up dying. Again, if you can't guarantee your team's survival, you'll end up being more of a liability than anything else. Support isn't just a class, it's a commitment to the whole team. That frustration of watching a clueless player running past your bleeding out body is a failure to understand the potential of the support class. You're the only class that can single-handedly stop enemies from taking out your whole team. While other classes struggle to get past enemy snipers, you're the one who can mount onto your deployable cover and melt those enemies with hard-hitting precision. When those assault players clear out an objective only to be taken out by that one last enemy, you're the one who slides in, revives your team, and secures that win. So there you have it, everything you need to know to become the foundation of your squad. If you found this guide valuable, then hit that like button, and let me know what you like to run on the support class in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the best tips, tricks, and breakdowns in Battlefield 6. Now that you've learned how to hold the line, it's time to break it. In the description below is a guide on how to become the tip of the spear as the assault class in Battlefield 6. You won't want to miss it. But with that out of the way, I'll see you in the next video.